The Muni in Forest Park.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
How did you choose what to cut from the score for Les Mis?
Well, okay, we have a Les Mis fan here.
The question is, how did you choose what to cut from the score for Les Mis?
Really interesting, because I've done the original full version was 3 hours and 20 minutes long. And I've done it as short as 2 hours and 5 minutes worth of material at the Hollywood Bowl. We had to be somewhere in the middle. And we sort of created this one specifically for Mike and the Muni. Because I have done authorized cuts, you know, really severe cuts like the 2 hour and 5 minute version, I knew what Claude Michel and Alain would approve. And I also had an opportunity to do 6 months of the new tour that's out that you might have seen at the Fox, the 25th anniversary tour. That's a whole set of cuts. And I did the revival in 2006 on Broadway. That was a whole nother set of cuts. So I just laid all the scores out on my dining room table and did what I thought would be the most effective for this production. It's not exactly the same as any of the others have ever been. Transitions are much faster. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to keep the precious moments of the show where the heart lands. I didn't want to rush through that. So our runaway cart's like that. Get it off. We don't care. But Fantine's death is intact. Things like that. I tried to be very careful that the Muni audience would get the meat and potatoes of the story and leave some of the vegetables off to the side.
And actually, another thing to Kevin's credit, and also really to the Muni, its tradition and history, because we have how many pieces for the show?
There's 30 pieces in this orchestra.
We have a 30 piece for the show. So when we were working with, Cameron McIntosh's office and everything, the orchestrations we're using, if you know Les Mis, I mean, these are the original, is this London or Broadway?
It's the original London that transferred to Broadway with changes orchestrations by John Cameron.
Yeah.
And they are now no longer licensed. You're lucky to hear them because now there's a reduced version that, again, that Fox tour, the show that was at the Fox, it's not the Fox tour, is using, that are sort of more like the movie. But with the amount of musicians Mike was gracious enough to let us have, it seemed crazy not to take advantage of the giant orchestration that was originally done. So you're going to hear all the original colors, the original, even the...
How many strings do we have?
We have 6 violins, 2 violas,
6
2
violins.
cellos. Yeah, which you don't get that much.
You don't
anymore.
get that. You don't get that. That's on a synthesizer these days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a synthesizer that also supplements the strings that makes it sound like 30. We have the guitar is much more prominently featured in this orchestration. I think you will really enjoy it. They enjoy playing it. Believe me, it's hard. They never stop. They never stop.
Here's one of the things, a little inside, Kevin, just what's so great about Kevin and what he's done for us, and he said it a couple times, like, I wanted the Muni to have this, I want to have the Muni this. He came to me, I guess about a week ago, and he said, I have an idea, I hope you're okay with it. And I said, what is it? And he said, he's conducted here in our glorious tradition of the national anthem, and he said, but what I want, can we do for Les Mis, because, sometimes we do it live and sometimes we play the tape, depending on the size of the orchestra, but we have the full orchestra. He said, can we play the tape for Les Miserables? Because I want the audience to feel the difference, and I want to spark them alive when we hit dun, 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 which just gave me goosebumps when he was asking. So tonight, listen to that. Listen to the tonal quality, as we're doing the national anthem, and then how just that idea says, here we go. You're at the theater, so genius.
Yeah, not so genius, but maybe it ends up working. And I worked at another venue, the Hollywood Bowl, where you also, because it's a public park, you play the national anthem, and it's always felt jarring to go from the national anthem to the overture to the producers. It just doesn't jive, and it's nothing political. I just thought it would be. The show starts after the national anthem, and it's the world of Les Mis. And it's so much about being in the world of Les Mis. This production, which I think is one of the more beautiful ones I've ever seen of it. Everything to me looks like a series of beautiful prints, and you'll see.
You've never seen anything visual like this on the Muni stage before, and I say that with confidence. It's a feast for the eyes. It is a feast for the eyes.